welcome back. Okay, today in this explainer, we are diving into something that is just incredibly frustrating. You put in the time, you sweat it out at the gym, but somehow your progress is literally going backward. You're losing muscle. So we're going to solve this muscle loss mystery together by looking at 8 critical mistakes that might be quietly sabotaging your workouts.
Exercising regularly, but still losing muscle? Man, it feels completely backward, doesn't it? If this is happening to you, trust me, your frustration is absolutely valid. I mean, we all naturally assume that just showing up and putting in the physical work is the guaranteed ticket to building or at least keeping our muscle mass. But the counterintuitive reality here, and our source material makes this crystal clear, is that regular exercise alone just isn't enough. Muscle is a huge deal. It drives our metabolism, our mobility, our overall strength, and really dictates how healthy we are as we age. So if you're losing it despite working hard, we've got to look way beyond the treadmill.
To figure out what's going wrong, we'll break this down into 4 main areas. 1. Nutritional gaps. 2. Training errors. 3. The power of recovery. And 4. Hidden health factors.
Let's jump right into the first one. Nutritional gaps, starving your gains. So mistake number 1 is pretty common, not eating enough protein. Listen to this. A 2013 study in the journal Sports Medicine actually found that athletes can start losing muscle strength after just about 3 weeks of not training. But to stop that decline when you are staying active, you absolutely have to eat protein. It's like the raw building material, the essential amino acids, your body literally needs to repair tissue after a tough workout. If you skimp on protein, you're slowing down your recovery, stunting your muscle growth, and over time actively increasing the risk of losing the muscle you already have. Oh, and here's a pro tip from the experts. Don't just eat one massive steak at dinner and call it a day. You've got to spread your protein intake evenly throughout the day so your body constantly has those muscle-building resources on hand.
Moving on to mistake number 2, not eating enough overall calories. You see, so many people try to shed pounds by creating this massive, aggressive calorie deficit. But here's the thing. Maintaining muscle takes energy. If you basically starve yourself to drop weight fast, you're severely handicapping your body's ability to recover. And your body is smart, right? If it doesn't have enough fuel, it won't just burn fat, it will actually cannibalize your hard-earned muscle mass to make up for the shortfall. A much better, far more sustainable approach to weight management is going to protect that muscle in the long run.
All right, moving into our second pillar, training errors, sabotaging your effort.
Mistake number 3 is skipping out on strength training entirely. Look, don't get me wrong. Cardiovascular activities like walking, cycling, or running are fantastic. They offer undeniably important health benefits. But if your goal is maintaining muscle, cardio alone just isn't going to cut it. The source material spells it out perfectly. Muscle maintenance depends heavily on resistance exercise. Without that specific physical stimulus, your muscles are just going to gradually lose both size and strength. And honestly, this becomes a huge deal as we get older.
And that leads us right into mistake number 4, doing way too much cardio. This all comes down to something researchers in the journal Healthcare call the interference effect. It's such a great term because it perfectly describes the tug-of-war happening inside your body. See, prolonged endurance training activates what we call catabolic pathways. Think of these as muscle-breaking signals. And those signals actually compete directly with your anabolic pathways, the muscle-building signals you need for growth. You're basically giving your body mixed messages. Now, you can absolutely do cardio and lift weights, but it takes proper nutrition, adequate rest, and smart scheduling so they don't constantly interfere with each other.
Which brings us to our third pillar, the power of recovery, growth outside the gym. Mistake number 5 is a big one, ignoring your recovery days. Here is the wild truth. Your muscles actually grow and adapt during recovery, not while you're working out. The workout itself is just the spark, right? The rest period is where the actual magic happens. So if you're hitting it hard in the gym every single day without taking a break, you're not actually being tougher. You're just drastically driving up your fatigue, increasing your risk of injury, and practically begging for overtraining symptoms. Scheduling recovery isn't a sign of weakness. It is quite literally a biological requirement of any successful fitness program.
And speaking of resting, mistake number 6 is having poor sleep habits. Because yeah, muscle repair happens mostly while we are dead asleep. When you chronically shortchange your sleep, you kick off this vicious downward spiral. Step 1, your overall physical recovery takes a massive hit. Step 2, because you aren't fully recovered, your next workout performance drops. And step 3, a lack of sleep actually messes with the very hormones your body uses to maintain muscle. If you want to protect your gains, getting consistent, high-quality sleep every single night is an absolute must.
Okay, let's look at our final pillar, Hidden health factors, the unseen saboteurs.
Mistake number 7 is getting older without adjusting how you train. There's a medical term for age-related muscle loss, and it's called sarcopenia. Now, a lot of people think this is just something you worry about in your 80s, but actually no, it can start sneaking up on you right from middle age onward. If you're stubbornly sticking to the exact same routine you did in your 20s, you are going to lose muscle. The experts say fighting this natural decline requires a really intentional game plan. We're talking consistent resistance training and making sure you're getting enough protein. You really have to actively adjust your routine to fight back against the biological clock.
And finally, mistake number 8, overlooking medical conditions. Sometimes, inexplicably losing muscle has absolutely nothing to do with how many times you hit the gym, and everything to do with what's happening internally. Things like thyroid disorders, hormonal imbalances, chronic illnesses, or even the side effects of certain medications can seriously eat away at your muscle mass. If you are checking all the boxes, you're eating your protein, lifting heavy, sleeping 8 hours, and you're still losing muscle, it is absolutely critical to sit down and have a serious conversation with a healthcare professional.
Which brings us to the final thought for today's explainer. I want you to ask yourself, are you building a holistic routine, or are you just showing up to the gym? Because as we've uncovered today, fitness really is a 24/7 job. Keeping your muscle mass depends just as much on what you eat, how you sleep, and your overall health as it does on that hour you spend lifting weights. By spotting and fixing these 8 mistakes, you can protect your strength, support healthy aging, and finally see the real results from all that hard work. So take a step back and look at your daily habits outside the gym walls. What's one adjustment you can make today to protect your progress? Keep learning, stay focused, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.